Good evening and a very warm welcome. I'm Jitnu Katenura for Prime TV News. Let's look at today's headlines first. President reveals that the battle against the illegal narcotics racket will be implemented with a new look next week. Health Minister reveals of a racket in the tobacco company. Agriculture officials are successfully carrying out the process of controlling the Sena caterpillar. And on news overseas, bus accidents left some 35 dead in Bolivia. President Maithripala Sirisena has emphasized that the battle so far carried out against the illegal narcotics racket will be implemented with a new look next week. The president laid this emphasis declaring the National Drugs Prevention School Week at a during program held in Mullaitivu. The president underscored that he will not change the decision taken to impose death penalty for drug racketeers. The National Drug Prevention School Week was declared at the Mullaitivu Vidyanandan Mahavidyalaya in Mullaitivu today under the patronage of President Maithripala Sirisena. Accordingly, the National Drug Prevention Week will be in place from today until the 28th of this month. Under this initiative, the National Drugs Prevention Week will be operative from today until the 25th as a main program. Its inaugural function was held in the Jaffna district with 150,000 school children giving their pledge on the prevention of drugs at the morning assembly. Special attention has been drawn on school children in the program mooted by the president for the crackdown and control of drug menace, which is a dire catastrophe on the entire country. Accordingly, the National Drugs Prevention School Week has been declared. President Maithripala Sirisena inaugurated a hotline for the public to inform of narcotics-related cases. Accordingly, the public are now able to provide information related to any narcotic cases via the hotline number 1984. Today was allocated to raise awareness on school children within classrooms with respect to prevention of drugs. Tomorrow is allocated for the summoning of parents to school for activities that are to be carried out with the children with regard to drug prevention at classroom level. Children will be educated on laws regarding narcotics on the 23rd. The political authority is due to be appraised of narcotics on January 24th. While January 25th will be set aside to publicize drug prevention messages within and outside schools using various media and educating journalists. January 26th is set aside on behalf of programs containing drug prevention activities of voluntary organizations. January 27th is allocated for drug prevention activities through places of religious worship and Dhamma schools. Addressing the gathering present at the function, President Maithripala Sirisena referred to the consent expressed by the government of the Philippines to support Sri Lanka controlling the drug menace. The president pointed out that a specialist team is due in Sri Lanka shortly to explore the possibility of granting technical advisory services. The president symbolically launched several programs, including the grant of financial funds to undertake preliminary costs in the reconstruction of 7 schools damaged by floods in the Kilinochchi and Mullaitivu district, and the granting of financial assistance to meet the water requirement of 13 schools which lack drinking water facilities in the Mullaitivu district. Army Commander Lieutenant General Mahesh Senanayake handed over to the President documents to release of state and private lands totaling 264 acres which were under the Army in Jaffna, Mullaitivu, Kilinochchi and Mana district, and the release of 1,999 acres belonging to main farms that were under the government. The President in turn handed over these documents to the district secretaries. 9 out of the 10 recommendations made by the World Health Organization have been implemented in Sri Lanka to limit the use of cigarettes in the country. This was disclosed by the Health Minister Rajitha Senaratne. The minister said that various influences were made in the imposition of 90% taxes on cigarettes. The commencement of medical drugs of the first stage of the drugs and perfume factory built in the Ballapitiya area with the intention of manufacturing the drugs required by the Sri Lanka based on the Professor Seneka Bibile drugs policy took under the patronage of Minister Rajitha Senaratne. On this occasion, the minister disclosed of an illegal process of the tobacco company. The health minister accused tobacco companies in Sri Lanka of being involved in a racket to mislead the public on the use of cigarettes in the country. He mentioned that the taxes on cigarettes had been increased to discourage the use of cigarettes. However, he added that some companies importing illegal cigarettes and distributing them in the market to give the impression that there has not been a drop in the number of people smoking cigarettes. Agriculture officials are successfully carrying out the process of controlling the Sena caterpillar. Chief of Sena Caterpillar Controlling Unit and Deputy Agriculture Director Anurvijay Tunga pointed out that they need the support of the farmers in the process of the controlling the Sena caterpillar. He mentioned that this is a particular caterpillar has the ability to damage 100% of the food crops. Mr. Anurvijay Tunga said that the related samples have been dispatched to the United States to secure reports on the genes of the caterpillar. Mr. Anurvijay Tunga said that committees were now being appointed at the Agrarian Service Centre level and also a committee at the grassroots level, Kramildari division level and at the district level. The Department of Agriculture and the Ministry of Agriculture, the entire environment has been created to destroy this parasite. He said that every farmer will be handed over with a form to the rural community. He said that every farmer will be handed over with a form to the rural committee. He revealed that samples have been also dispatched to the United States for the examination at genetical level. He mentioned this issue is not limited to their country but has impacted the entire world. It is important that everyone should unite to overcome this menace. He added that it is the rural committee that is vested with the task of destroying this parasite even by setting fire, and the support extended by farmers to this rural committee is very important. Meanwhile, peasants of Valimata fear as a threat of an invasion of their vegetable cultivations by the Sena caterpillar. This follows the detection of this caterpillar from maize plants cultivated on a vegetable land in the Dimutugama area in Valimata. Our correspondents reported that the farmers of the area have been drawn their dire attention to protecting their vegetable cultivations. The farmers join hands in destroying the maize cultivations from which the Sena caterpillar has been detected. The awarding of new Sanganayaka title to the Venerable Kottave Nandathera, the chief of Long Island Buddhist Meditation Center of New York in the United States, took place under the patronage of President Maithripala Sirisena. The president presented to him the title Chief Sanganayaka of the Mahavihara Vansika Shyamopali Vanavasanikaye. The function was held at the Bandaranaike Memorial International Conference Hall. The Venerable Kottave Nandathera has been presented this position, lauding the Dhamma propagation activities undertaken by him. The president was presented with the Nandabhinandan Upahara and Shastri Dhamma book. A large gathering including members of the Mahasangha led by the Mahanayaka Thera were present. Meanwhile, the vesting of the new Vahal Kada of Sri Vidya Vijayarama at Panagoda and Ranvata built around the Bodhiya in the Mahasangha also took place under the auspices of the President. Members of the Mahasangha, including Chief Incumbent of the Vihare, the Venerable Karhaga Ulpata Sugadaranda Thera, chanted Setpirit and blessed the President. A large gathering, including Minister Patri Champika Ranavaka, was present. The presentation of Act of Appointment of Deputy Chief Sanganayaka of the Raigam Korali was recently handed over to the Chief Incumbent of Galpata Purana Rajamavihare of Kalutara, the Venerable Kalugala Nandaratana Thera, took place under the patronage of Opposition Leader Mahinda Rajapaksa. This act of appointment has been awarded by Sri Jayawardhanapura Kotte Sri Kalyani Samagri Dharma Sangha Sabha with the honorary title Sasanakirti Sri Nandarama. Nayaka Theras, including Anunayaka Theras of the Kotte Sri Kalyani Samagri Dharma Mahasangha Sabha, the Venerable Kotapiti Rahula, they are joined in this occasion. Several parliamentarians, including Minister Ajit P. Pereira, were present. Expressing his views on the occasion, Opposition Leader Mahinda Rajapaksa mentioned that everyone should unite to eliminate the drug menace from the country. Former DIG Nalak De Silva and Indian national Malesi Thomas have been further remanded until the 30th of this month. The order was issued by the Colombo Fort Magistrate Priyanta Lianage. They have been indicted with respect to a conspiracy of assassinating VVIPs, including the President and the former Defence Secretary. The magistrate ordered to direct Nalaka de Silva, who has been remanded to the prison hospital on the recommendations of the prison medical officer. The magistrate also ordered the Criminal Investigations Department to continue with investigations into the incident and report to the judiciary the next day. The case filed against the chairman of Avantgarde Maritime Services, Nisanka Yapa Senadipati, and the former chairman of Rakna Arakshaka Lanka Limited, Major General Palita Fernando, has been postponed for February 28th. The case was taken up before Colombo High Court Judge Shashi Mahendran today. The judge also ordered the witness of the case to be present for the next hearing of the case. Accepting a request made by the defense attorneys, the High Court judge ordered to temporarily lift the overseas travel ban imposed on the two defendants until the 25th of next month. India and Sri Lanka have signed an agreement for the development of infrastructure of the Swami Vipulananda Institute of Aesthetic Studies of the Eastern University. The Memorandum of Understanding was signed by India's High Court Commissioner of Sri Lanka, Taranjit Singh Siddi, and Secretary to the Ministry of Urban Planning, Water Supply and Higher Education, MCCK Maya Dunne. Among those present on the occasion were Minister Rao Hakim and senior state officials. The auditorium building complex and the audio and visual network of Swami Vipulananda Institute of Aesthetic Studies will be developed under the MOU. The Indian government will be providing sum of 275 million rupees. This assistance is being provided under the program of enhancing cooperation between Sri Lanka and India. India is giving $3 billion for development activities in Sri Lanka. Of this, $560 million is being given as a non-payable grant. The motorbike used by suspects in shooting incident at the Kudavela fishery harbour in Tangal has been recovered. The police said that another suspect who supported and encouraged his murder has been apprehended. It was on the 25th of December that 4 persons were killed after a group stormed into the Kudavela fisheries harbour in Tangal. Another sustained injuries in this incident. Several police teams commenced comprehensive investigations into the incident. This resulted in the arrest of one suspect. Following interrogations, the motorbike without a number plate used in the shooting was recovered yesterday. It was hidden in a drain in a coconut plantation in the Baliata area. A team of officers from Tangal police recovered the motorbike. The helmets used in this motorbike that were burnt were also found. These are due to directed to the government analysts. Another suspect who abided and indicted for this commitment of this crime was nabbed this morning. He was taken into custody from Gamlar area in Beliatta. The office of the police media spokesman said that he was due to proceed in the Telangana Magistrate Court tomorrow. The Department of Meteorology has forecast fairly cold nights and mornings over most of the parts of the country. According to the Met Department, there is a possibility for ground frost at some places in the Nuwara district during the early hours of the morning. It also forecasts mainly fair weather over the island. The Met Department said that showers or thunder showers may occur at few places in the deep sea area of the coast, extending from Hambantota to Batiklo via Potuville. Mainly fair weather will prevail in the other sea areas around the island. Winds will be northeasterly and wind speed will be 30 to 40 kilometers per hour in the sea areas around the island. The sea areas of the coast extending from Mana to Balapitia via Puttalam and Colombo and the sea area of the coast extending from Hambantota to Potuville can be fairly rough at times as the wind speed can increase up to 50 kilometers per hour at times. Naval and fishing communities are called upon to be vigilant in this regard. Now it's time for the beach segment. Sri Lanka's tourism sector has earned over $4 billion in 2018 with a steadily increased revenue of 11.6 compared to 2017. The Sri Lanka Tourism Development Authority data outlines. The latest data highlights that an average duration of stay per person is 11 days in Sri Lanka, while average daily expenditure is $174, amounting to approximately $2,000 during their entire stay. Tourism industry this year expects 3 million tourist arrivals and revenue of US $5 billion, with Lonely Planet naming Sri Lanka as the #1 destination to travel in 2019. Prime News returns tomorrow, and in the meantime, make sure www.itanews.lk, your go-to source for the very latest news at home and overseas. Have a nice day. Good night.